What's going on, everybody? I'm Aslan Hajavandi, Director of Digital Media for Warchant.com, the ultimate Seminoles sports source. Over there is Matt LaSerre. He is our staff writer, does a lot of recruiting news, which you would know if you subscribe to Warchant.com. So subscribe to Warchant.com. Find out what Matt and Michael are reporting when it comes to recruiting all hours of the day over at the premium recruiting board for our subscribers at Warchant.com. And after you're done hitting that thumbs up, go follow Matt on Twitter, his handle at the bottom of his little window there. Matt, thanks for taking time out to join us here, man. This was a pretty important midweek visit for the Noles. They had some really big-time talent on campus. Start us off with the product out of Chaminade. I didn't think he would come back. I'm the cynic, but he's back. Jeremiah Smith. What do you think about his visit, Mike?
You know, I think a lot of us didn't think he would come back just because he's committed to Ohio State, and he always talks about how he is committed to Ohio State, even while taking these other visits. He's been pretty vocal about the fact that he is still committed. But today seemed a little bit different. I would still, again, as of now, I would still say he's probably going to Ohio State. But he said a lot of good things about his visit to Florida State. Like he said, he called Coach Norvell the realest coach in college football. He said he's going to come back for the Miami game as an official visit, which, by the way, I believe his teammates from Chaminade, or at least a few of them, are already going that week as well. So that helps get him comfortable and stuff. Also, keep in mind, is a former teammate, Edwin Joseph, also on the team. He was involved in the visit a little bit. Jeremiah didn't talk about him a whole lot when we talked with him in the interview, but we saw him walking in and out of the facility with him a few times. As for what he said and the kind of what stood out to him was, again, how real the coaching staff is. Coach Norvell, Coach Adkins, and Coach Dugans, all three of them, he got great impressions from him, loves talking to him. And something that stood out to me that he said was that what he did at high school at Chaminade kind of lines up a lot with what Florida State does. And he said that would make Dugans told him that would make his transition to college ball a lot easier. And another thing is he was looking into academics. He was trying to see what major he would do and all that kind of stuff, it's cool to see him back and looking at that and talking to us.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't light comments, man. That's not, hey, it was cool, like, to see the trophies, or like, I like my photo shoot. I mean, relationships always seem to be a big thing for recruiting for Florida State, especially when we talk to Michael about how Norvell and the staff continue to bring guys on campus and then also get some commitments out of them. I mean, if you had to kind of like rank a list of things to hear about, it sounds like some of these things, whether it's relationships with the coaching staff, just how genuine they are, or the fact that this offense is quite similar to what he runs, like those got to be two things that probably are going to make a really good impression as he leaves campus and has something to think about.
Yeah, and obviously he did say he would now definitely give Florida State a look, and that's always good to hear, obviously, right? I can't deny that.
All right. There was more than just one 5-star on campus, Matt. We'll hopefully catch up with him here in a little bit, but he's one of those elite plus guys. KJ Bolden out of Beaufort, Georgia. Just how real do you think is the interest? I mean, we'll obviously get a sense of that when we get to speak to him. But, I mean, the fact that he showed up here on campus midweek, just how good of a sign do you think that is for Florida State?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's good. Whenever a kid keeps visiting, it's always good no matter what. I know Michael likes to say this with KJ, is that the longer his process goes out, the better it is for Florida State. I think we have a better shot at KJ than at Jeremiah, just to compare the two 5-stars that are here. But KJ in general, from what we're hearing, again, we won't talk to him until tomorrow after his final meeting for the visit tomorrow morning. But from what we're hearing, it's going very well. Whenever he's walked outside, he's had a smile on his face. He's probably getting dinner somewhere with the staff right now, I would assume. But from what we've heard, he's having a great time on campus. He's had a smile on his face. And what's interesting is he's coming straight off of an Ohio State visit, an official visit this past weekend, where he even tweeted it was a 10 out of 10.
Who thinks in the mix for him? I mean, obviously we see Georgia. He's from Georgia. Who are some of the teams you think Florida State's really going to have to kind of try to make an impression on him about to sway his sort of his list as we see on the RPM there, which is not official, everybody, just some folks making predictions.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously Georgia's the leader. I think a lot of people say he's a Georgia lean, but from what I've been seeing, what I've been reading, it's a lot of Ohio State or Georgia, especially after his Ohio State visit this weekend. And who knows, Florida State could go up into that top 3 after an amazing visit this weekend. They haven't even used an official visit on him yet. This weekend was only unofficial. So it's kind of good to see him coming back.
All right, man. So people want commitments. We don't have that news for you right now, but at least we have a date on a possible commitment for next month. How encouraging is that? How relieving is that probably for everybody in the PRB to finally know that Charles LaSerre has got a date in mind for his decision?
Yeah, Charles has put July 29th as his commitment date. I mean, we kind of knew it was going to come soon. We just didn't know when. From if you look at his interview, we kind of thought he said he was going to talk about it and release it soon. But yeah, I mean, there's also a few others in July. If you do look on the PRB, again, subscribe. I like to say, girls post on Instagram and stuff like Snap saw it first. Well, the most part here, the PRB sees it first. So, yeah.
Nice.
So again, there's a bunch of other commitment dates. I believe Kylan Fox is on July 4th, he's also coming this weekend. James Madison's July 4th. And there's a bunch of others. Again, I kind of broke them all down on the PRB already if you guys want to go look at that. But Charles LaSerre is great to see that. He's finally set a date. And again, we have a really good shot here. I think we've been saying this for a long time. FSU is in a great spot. I know Michael has said that he just feels more comfortable here than everywhere else. And that's kind of reflected in his interview from this past weekend. And again, you can go see on our YouTube. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Counting down the days, even though it's a month away.
Right on. All right. Don't forget also, as Matt said, check out the PRB. Jason Zandamela, a top target for Florida State on the offensive line, same high school as Lucas Simmons. Lucas Simmons also courted by Southern Cal, but ended up picking Florida State. Zandamela committed to the Trojans and Lincoln Riley earlier on Tuesday. Michael was able to catch up with him. Is it over? I don't even know yet. I got to go read what Michael put up on the PRB. So go check that out. Matt's going to be over at More tomorrow alongside Michael, trying to get the lowdown on KJ Bolden and his visit. Again, 5-star plus athlete out of Buford on campus right now for Florida State. Jeremiah Smith wrapping things up. Matt, thanks for doing this, man. Let's catch up sometime soon.
Yes, sir. Anytime.